This isn't a prediction, but it is an expectation, and I think it's a fair one. Your favorite football team had better move the ball and put up points. Both of those in bulk against this particular opponent. Good morning to you. Good Tuesday morning. I'm Dejan Kovacevic of DK Pittsburgh Sports. This is Daily Shot of Steelers presented by FanDuel. It comes your way bright and early every weekday. If you're into hockey and or baseball, I also offer daily shots of Penguins and Pirates in the same place that you found this. The Steelers and Bengals go at it at Paycor Stadium, 8:15 p.m. kickoff Thursday. And just as I spent much of last week, what felt like warning people about the Browns and their very real defense, I'm going exactly the opposite direction with this Ohio team. Because the Bengals aren't just bad defensively, they're one of the worst. And on top of that, they're banged up, meaning on that side of the ball. But instead of just attaching an adjective here, let's do some data. The Bengals have the second to worst total defense mark in the league, allowing 394 yards per game. Only the Cowboys, who, just kind of sent Micah Parsons out, are worse. And they're an equal opportunity bad, meaning they're also the second worst when it comes to pass defense. The Cowboys again bringing up the rear. The Bengals allow 258 yards per game through the air. The run defense is only marginally better. They're fifth worst. They allow 135.7 yards per game on the ground. Scoring-wise, they're third worst, 30th out of 32 teams, allowing 30.5 points per game. And I'm going to stress here, that's not the team giving up that many points. That's just their defense giving up that many. And if all that wasn't bad enough, Trey Hendrickson, who's the unquestioned star of that defense, might miss this game because of a back injury sustained Sunday night in Cincinnati's loss to the Packers, adding him to the guys on offense who are out. Joe Burrow, notably. Mike Gesicki, that was just learned yesterday. But to the defense, there's really not going to be much of an excuse for the Steelers to be, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. They should be putting up 30 points. They should. And I say that only partly because of the Bengals and their state. I also say it because if you look at what the Steelers did, and Mike Tomlin brought this up in his press conference yesterday against Cleveland, yes, it was nice that they were able to move the way they were against the Browns. It's nice that they were able to balance the run and the pass against what legitimately might be still the best defense in the NFL, at least for now. The Browns officially rank third in total defense even after that game. But to have those first three drives result in Chris Boswell field goals, it's nice. And to come out in the second half and wear down the Browns, who you knew had to be experiencing some fatigue over there, with a couple of touchdown drives, that's nicer. But there's another level for this group. And I think you're starting to see, hear, and read in general that more people are beginning to recognize this. That the Steelers' pieces, while they're not super flashy aside from the, a couple of big names that they've got, they're starting to make things happen together. Arthur Smith is starting to get a little bit more, what's the word I'm looking for here? Daring. There it is with his play calling. He's not locking himself into just what's safe, what works, what allows the team to survive some continuing offensive line hiccups. No, he put it all out there against the Browns. He put it all out there. He used everybody to varying extents. He used his playbook as if it was a playoff game. He had all kinds of check marks that he wanted to hit. And he did. Ran the ball, threw the ball short, threw the ball intermediate, threw the ball deep, used the middle, used the sidelines, used a gazillion different formations, threw a touchdown to his number 4 tight end, to which I say, because this is a short week and nobody has much of an opportunity to go over what happened Sunday, go ahead and graduate. Go ahead up to that next level. Yeah, and it's a bummer to not have Calvin Austin, and I'm sure the conversation will continue about WR2, as I think it should, but working with what's here, and especially at the tight end position, because the 3 guys ahead of Connor Hayward are pretty good. The Bengals have, for quite some time now, been terrible against tight ends. Just do it. Just pound them. Just run it up. And I'm not, putting out here that anybody should be taken lightly or anything to that effect. I'm actually saying quite the opposite. Go ahead out there and really perform. Go out there and really get done what you should get done against a defense like that. There's going to be, in advance of the game, and I get this, fair amount of discussion about Joe Flacco, especially since Mike Tomlin made his remark yesterday, ripping the Browns for trading Flacco to a division rival. And don't forget, the Bengals still have those super spectacular wide receivers. For this 1 week, I really don't care about both sides of the ball. Go score points. Score a lot of points. When we come back, J1Q.
This segment of Daily Shot is brought to you by our good friends at Mike's Beer Bar. They're located on Federal Street, directly across from PNC Park. Mike has more than 500 beers on tap, including from more than 50 local breweries. Stop in and say hello. Tell Mike we sent you. Mike's Beer Bar. Football season's finally here. Time to check out the latest odds, futures, and win totals on the FanDuel Sportsbook. Think the Steelers are headed to the Super Bowl? Lock in your bets today. Whatever your game, FanDuel Sportsbook delivers the latest lines, futures, and specials, so you can join in on all the action.
Today's J1Q comes from Lou, who says, DK, do you think Art Rooney maybe talked with Mike Tomlin and said adjusting things is okay? You know how Tomlin can be set in his ways. I do, Lou. It's actually been my number 1 recurring theme in covering the man for all these years. He's beyond stubborn. He's stuck 10 feet deep in mud in his own ways. His only real solution over the years, whenever things have gone south for the Steelers, has been to just basically hunker down and say, tackle better, block better, football better. So I'll reiterate in my response to you the surprise that I expressed from overseas when the Steelers showed up for that game in Dublin doing lots of different things, making lots of very real adjustments, not just to schematics, but also to personnel, even to philosophy. If you want to factor into it, the most dramatic thing that he did over there, and that's adding Spencer Anderson as the 6th offensive lineman, is going max protect for more than a third of the game, more than a third of the offensive snaps, to be clear. That was without precedent. Compound all of that with the fact that they flew to the other side of the planet, and you would think that'd be the last scenario in which you'd want to be introducing all kinds of fresh concepts. But I'm going to be honest with you, Lou, and take this from somebody who publicly called for the Steelers to go a different direction after last season. I don't feel comfortable criticizing the man as being the one who runs really all of football operations and blame him when it's bad. But then when something turns good, to say, maybe I should instead be crediting Rooney for this, because maybe Rooney said something to him, or maybe Rooney would have stressed a little extra urgency because the game was in Ireland and the memory of his dad and all that. We could do this all day, Lou. We could, all of us, myself included, could find other people to credit and avoid mentioning Tomlin. And in my own case, I could be stubborn myself, and I could go back to the commentaries that I was doing in January and say, I don't care, he's still, get rid of him. I could still be doing that just because I did it in January. And as I hope you guys have seen, as I get new information or things just change, I mean, I say this all the time, circumstances change, so do stances, or so should they. And as I see it, there's actually a real consistency to that. Think about it this way. If my number one thing, and it has been my number one thing against Tomlin, has been his unwillingness to ever change anything, if it's that, and then they go overseas, and he changes a bunch of things, and they succeed, and I praise him for that, that's actually a pretty consistent stance. He and the circumstances what changed, not my stance. I wanted him to be more adaptable. So unless I were to hear something definitively from inside the Steelers world that, hey, there was this come to art meeting in some hotel in Dublin the night before the game, just there it is. It's right there in front of you. Whatever you see, just like in bad times, you can embrace in the good times. I had been thinking in the week or so leading up to that long flight that this team really wasn't going to go anywhere, in large part because of Tomlin and Terrell Austin, based not just what I'd seen with my eyes, but based on stuff that I'd heard from within, meaning the dissatisfaction from the players with some of the stuff that they were being tasked with doing. Well, then it all changed. Okay, great. Awesome. I appreciate you, Lou. I appreciate everybody who listens to Daily Shot of Steelers. I want to ask everybody who enjoys this program and anything that you see, hear, or read from us at DK Pittsburgh Sports to download our app. That's how we do business. That's the best way to support us. That's the DK Pittsburgh Sports app. Download it into your phone. That part is free. You won't like it. It's got ads. It's got some other roadblocks, and you want the premium version. I want you to have the premium version, which is why I'm offering this massive discount to anybody who emails me directly to my personal email, dk@dkpittsburghsports.com. And I'll hook you up with everything that you need, instructions and everything. dk@dkpittsburghsports.com. Hope you can make it to the double shot of Steelers at 4 p.m. Eastern today.